push down cereal as the cereal floats to the top of the milk when added. Others noted that the issues of floating cereal and mentioned that adding milk second deceases the time in which it might become soggy. It's about preserving crunchiness, but clearly there are people who milk first. Who are they really? It's unclear at present, but they exist, and it's very troubling. It is. They're like, I blame Donald Trump. How about you guys? Nestle told Mirror Online, "We didn't mean for the advert to confuse our customers. We recognize that people like their favorite cereals in different ways, and it's delicious whatever order you put the milk and the cereal in." Let's get logical here. It's probably more so just for the picture of the Nestle cereal ad. Let's just say, look at me getting all logical and methodical on things here. Okay, we already talked about some weird sex things, so we won't click on that logo. Let's do this one. We haven't really talked about what I'm drinking in my coffee today. I really, I like to... Sage, stop that. I like to drink my coffee, you guys know this, with fucking coconut oil. I've been off the white death, as my buddy Jeff calls it, the coffee mix, premix stuff. That stuff is not good for your fucking gut, I swear. Meanwhile, I fucking, still chewing that, but, that's probably not good for your gut either there, Polly fucking chew face. Hidden caves, once used as a sacred space by the ancient Knights Templar, have become a lair for modern-day black magic and boozy partying. Cramped tunnels leading from the tiny entrance to the canton? I think it's supposed to say canyon. Caves emerge into the network of caverns. Flickering torches pick out pillars, hidden alcoves, and ritualistic symbols of the 21st century warlocks. Photographer Michael Scott, whose picture of the central cavern was used to devout heroes of the crusade, was featured in the Mirror, said it looked like a temple. Wow, that's a really very observant observery? An observant observery. Discovered under a rabbit hole last week, the caves have in fact long been a site for rather less holy gatherings. Just a bunch of mooks fucking leeching off the cave walls, eating all the bat guano off the side of the caves, maybe. Experts believe they were fashioned centuries ago into a meeting space for the Knights Templar, of medieval mix of knight and monk. And now they have been adopted by worshippers of black magic, forcing the landowners to try to stop them accessing the entrance. However, it seems the locals have had a devil of a job keeping them away from the 700-year-old site. And then it shows some fucking skid hanging out with fucking, that like reflective clothing inside, so we can summon the demons in the dark cave of the Black Magic Cave, which was actually a knight's temple, asshole. So get the fuck out of here. There's definitely some strange stuff going on down there, says Dominic Wass, 29, an acclaimed urban artist who works under the name Sketch, and once had a workshop on the site 1 year around Christmas. The labyrinth of carved chambers was filled with candles with a sinister symbols scrawled on walls. The then owners of the site, which is hidden in woods in 10 miles of the Wolverhampton, decided enough was enough when two warlocks came knocking, asking for their robes back. How dare they? How dare they ask for their robes back? They had left their garments behind after a ritual, says Dominic. At least they asked. It's the mess left behind by the ones that don't. The Knights Templar, famously portrayed in Dan Brown's best-selling The Da Vinci Codes, were created around the 12th century. They joined Christian crusaders fighting to drive Muslim forces from the Holy Land in the Middle Ages. Deeply religious men who took a vow of chastity. They promised to protect their faith, founded by French nobleman Hugues de Payens. The order were only brown, not blown, Paul, black or white. They limited themselves by eating meat 3 times a week and gave their personal possessions. Over time, the Knights became one of the most powerful and wealthy organizations in the Christian world, and their bravery, the stuff of legend. And then it shows the skid again, hanging out, the ritualistic skid hanging out in the cave. Is this even fucking remotely fucking interesting today? It is Saturday, so hope you're having a good day at least, as I'm sitting here in my fucking no pants on podcast here again. Jesus. They also created modern banking, letting pilgrims afraid of being robbed leave deposits at the Temple Church in London and then carry letters of credit to withdraw cash in Jerusalem. As the caves of... I don't even have to say anything. You guys know I'm a fucking idiot. So, let's just get that out of the way, first of all. As the caves of Canton... This must not be a spelling escape though, because they spelled it the same way here. The caves of Canton. These days are the biggest problem isn't polite pagans asking permission to use them. It's the use making them a drinks den. Mystique signs complete for crowded wall space with sprawled messages, booze bottles litter the floor, but it isn't just the detritus that upsets Sketch as he scans the cobweb encrusted inner sanctum. Why can't they just put things back where they found them? Yeah, it's not something we want to be associated with. In the past, we were happy provided they asked permission, said they wanted to do and tidied up. But this is going too far, and time and again, wrought iron gates were placed over the tiny entrance. Which only were big enough to crawl through, but the bars were usually ripped down within days. Nothing, it seemed, would deter unwelcome intruders intent of abusing the sanctuary. Sketch, who lived on the site for 2 years, admits it's almost impossible to control. You can put up razor wire, but if someone gets injured, we're the ones who would land in trouble. People don't seem to realize that this is private property and they are trespassing. It's difficult. Whether it's boozy kids, druids, witches, wizards, or Satanists entering the canyon caves is risky. Dogs, including a very large mastiff, roam the grounds. Then there's a barbed wire and brambles. The caves themselves are hazardous too. Some chambers are so tiny that you have to enter on hands on knees. In another effort to keep unwelcome worshippers away, CCTV was increased and the robust fencing erected. Um, the walkway was blocked. Thankfully, planes to fill in an extensive networks have been rejected. Yet still intruders ignoring the Perels to discover a site dubbed one of the most mystical in the Midlands. Not surprising, solstice and Halloween pose particular problems. One Halloween bonfire party for the local children was interrupted while trespassing worshippers alerted by smoke spilled into the cave. I'm out of fucking coffee, in case you're wondering. We really went to town that night. Remembers sketch. Put up a cross, built a bonfire. All of a sudden, all these people came running out, coughing and sputtering. They, like so many, were inspired by the legends of surrounding canning caves. Sketch explains very little is known about why they're there. There are all kinds of stories. We are told that we were dug up by followers of the Knights Temple. They wanted a place to worship without being prosecuted. We would also excuse me. We've also been told a landowner hid slaves in there as slavery was illegal by then. Some believe the grotto is which more recent dug up by the 1850s by a wealthy family as a folly. One website devoted Britain's hidden treasure states it consists of a series of passages and chambers with niches and candles, and carving of the rooms is quite professional. It's a place and is rumored to have been used in the 1980s for black magic rituals. But not all locals are convinced of the caves and are still a destination for pagans. I should really be wearing my glasses, folks. Once said all that stuff about the cult. It's a load of warlocks. In 1936, King Robert the Bruce of Scotland, defeated by King Edward I, hid in this cave in Dumfries in Galway. There he saw a spider dodgily trying to spin a web, convincing him never to give up. He went on to beat in the Battle of Bannockburn in 1313. Quarram Caves, the Dead Sea Scrolls were found here in the West Bank in 1946. Manuscripts date back from 100 to 200 years before Christ's birth. Claimed as England's oldest pub, it was built into caves under Nottingham Ye Old Trip to Jerusalem. Claimed as England's oldest pub, it was built into caves under Nottingham Castle in 1189. So, named as the Crusaders stopped off for a few pints here before heading to the Holy Land. Chevaux Pont d'Arc, found the south of France in 1994. It has images drawn more than 30,000 fucking years ago. So that about ends the podcast today. I think we're up to about 55 minutes or so. I'll cut it off here. Oh, but the Calgary Flames are in a fucking 8-game winning streak, which ties a team organization record. So they're playing. Who do they play tonight? The Jets tonight. So that's the game we're watching. I'm headed off to Jam right now. It is Saturday, March 11th. Thanks so much for tuning in to the Metal Mercers Road, the Glories Metal Mercers Road at the Iron Horse in A-Town. Keep rocking it, and hopefully you guys are checking out some shows, local shows. Get out to your local music venues, guys. Come on. Come out and see the talents, man. I guarantee you at least 3 of the 4 bands you'll see for fucking $10, which is like literally, $250 a band. will be great, man. Come out, have a beer, enjoy some loud noises, and we'll see you next week. Thanks for tuning in. Love ya. Peace out. A-Town down. Over and out.